Hello guys, welcome back. Now, today I wanted to talk about FATUTU because the kit came out. And I know you need to remember that this character is coming before the limited character of 2.5, so it's not gonna be like insane, but it is a decent character that has some interesting mechanic that are one mechanic especially is new. I believe is new. So, let's read the kit and then we'll talk about it a little bit, okay? Now, she's a mineral 6-star and the role is support / healer. That's the role. Now, she has a lot of seashells apparently in the kit. So I1, when entering battle, receives a certain layer of pictographic shell. Now, this will come a lot around, will appear a lot in the kit, and there's a lot of stuff that we don't know, like that it's important to try to understand how good she is actually. So we're gonna have to wait for the numbers to be out, like how many. So disclaimer out, let's go. When distributing pictographic shell, FATUTU has a certain chance to increase self-moxie. I believe it might be like a 50%. To make it good, I feel like 50% would be a nice number. When retrieving pictographic shell, based on the number of retrieved pictographic shells and FATUTU's attack, recover HP for all allies. So we need to worry about how many retrieved shell and how much attack do we have. When enemies with pictographic shell are defeated, retrieve all pictographic shell on that enemy. So you don't a edge, picks it back. Okay, boom. Pictographic shell, it's increased damage and crit damage taken from follow-up attacks. So it could be basically a debuff on the enemy, becomes a debuff, and increases the damage that you do with follow-up attacks. So, Flutter Page, Windsong, 37, Chu, all those characters, might be forgetting somebody, forget me for that, are going to be, the intended party for that. When FATUTU is hit or is redistributing damage, okay, distribute a certain layer of pictographic shell to enemies. So when she hits, like a retaliation, I guess, she gets hit and then she reposts by attaching more shells to the enemy, basically. Now, to enemies, plural. When enemies with pictographic shell are hit, retrieve a certain layer of pictographic shell instead. So I feel like the dynamic is going to be attach the shell, brings back the shell, heals the allies when it picks back all the shell, when not all of them, but a certain amount of shells from the enemy when it dies. So maybe an encounter with multiple adds is going to make this go smoother and go faster, because you will be retrieving way more, because when they die you retrieve all of the shells on the enemy, and when you do that, I don't know the amount, but based on the FATUTU's attack you will recover HP. So I can see the dynamic on this, and you are incentivized in using follow-up attacks. Now I2 increase attack 8% probably. I3, when entering battle, receives more pictographic shell. Okay, so it's a better, get more. After FATUTU distributes or retrieves a certain layer of pictographic shells, cast 2 cracks to the enemy with the most layers of pictographic shells. This is most likely going to count as a follow-up attacks, considering a pictographic shell, it's increasing the damage of those. So this probably is going to count as 1, and 2 cracks is just her skill 1. So, how much do we need? We don't know. S1, okay? 2 cracks is a single target mental damage after attacking, distributes pictographic shells. Dispel a certain number of stats down, negative status, control on all allies. So this is very easy to cast pictographic shell distributor plus a mass dispel of one of those. So that is actually pretty good, I think, considering how easy it is, how accessible it is for a dispel. This is going to be really one of the most useful thing that this character has in her kit when it comes to what her role is, right? Now, the first skill, it's good in this, and she's going to cast this automatically when after she distributes or retrieves a certain amount of pictographic shells we don't know, but you will be able to also cast it randomly, you know, by doing this, by achieving this. So you're gonna find yourself randomly like boom, boom, 2 cracks for free, boom, 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 dispels everyone, -1 or whatever the negative status, stats down, or control that you're gonna have. Control is very important. If it was only these 2, sure, but if you have anybody stunned, anybody that is like CC'd, not anymore. So, you know, really good. Now that's 2 cracks. Now the other one, it's a mass buff, and that's where she does something new. Redistribute all allies HP evenly and gives all allies a certain layer of the same string of shells. Retrieves all pictographic shells. So with this one, you can force yourself, you can force FATUTU to pick back all of the shells that she distributed on the enemy. And I guess emergency heal everybody, because that's what happens when you pick back a certain number of pictographic shell. And I would probably, it's going to be easy when you do this for you to trigger the heal, because you retrieve all of them. So it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy for you to reach that amount that we don't know. On top of that, this is new. Redistribute all allies HP evenly. So the moment I saw this, I was immediately, oh, so if you play KAKANIA with her, it's going to be not broken, but you know, if you play KAKANIA with her, it's going to be really good, because now you're redistributing every HP, so it's not going to be only KAKANIA, the one that is like heavily wounded, because KAKANIA cannot self-sustain forever. She eventually going to need the enemy to die or herself to be healed. She heals, obviously, with, you know, with the explosion of her kit. Forgot what the fuck is called. I just woke up, so forgive me for that. But yeah. With FATUTU now, you are healing the allies with the same card that you're using to redistribute all allies HP. So everyone is going to lose a little bit of HP to give it back to someone, let's say like KAKANIA. So it's going to be way easier for you to keep everybody alive. Even though technically you might think like, oh, but I'm losing HP. That's a good thing. If KAKANIA gets back, someone like KAKANIA gets back to 50%, because you are taking 10 from the other allies, including FATUTU, I believe, right? All allies. So yeah, you are giving back KAKANIA or another character that does that, specifically KAKANIA though, a lot of HP back, and that's the character that gets hit the most and that takes damage the most, because she, you know, intercepts the damage that everybody takes. So that's gonna be, I feel like it's gonna be really good. And you are healing. You are healing when you retrieve all the shells. And considering how everything is distributing and retrieving, distributing and retrieving all of these shells, there's probably gonna be almost guaranteed that when you do the mass buff, at least once, like the first time, you will be healing the allies. Now, how big the heal is, it scales with FATUTU attack and how many number of retrieving pictographic shells you're doing. Maybe it always heals, but it's going to be more or less heal depending on these 2 factors. So that said, her 2 cracks skill, skill 1 and skill 2 are actually pretty interesting, right? Actually pretty good. So that's what the skills do. Now, what is the same string of shells? Because it's going to give the allies this shit. Link all allies HP together. When attacked, the damage will be distributed to allies. Again, another layer for helping characters such as KAKANIA, which is the only one that does that for now. But if you're playing KAKANIA with FATUTU, it feels like they really want you to do that, to double down on this mechanic. Otherwise, sure, it's basically a mini KAKANIA. This is a mini KAKANIA. Now, it's not someone that is taking more, like the big of it, the blunt of the damage, but it's basically like if you played in Honkai Star Rail, it would be like Fushuan. Kinda, not really. I don't think there is a... Yeah, there is. Like in Simulated Universe, when you get the golden card for the destruction that makes everybody take the same amount of damage. I guess it's the same as that, but nobody knows that. Not everyone knows that. So basically, this is like everybody takes an equal amount of damage, which goes perfectly with the buff here, with the fact that redistributes allies HP evenly, and if you play KAKANIA, it's going to be even better. I am actually really curious. Now, the problem is that in CN, I cannot afford to get FATUTU unless I get it in one pool. Maybe, who knows, you know. My account is like godlike, free-to-play god in CN for some reason. I might not be able to get the character though, but I'm really curious to play this. But yeah, let's go check the ultimate. Now, the Sea Breeze admonishes, whatever, the momentary title probably. Single mental damage, distributes all pictographic shells, inflict shell beacon on target. So this is like another ability that's giving shells. Now, what's shell beacon? When pictographic shells are retrieved, distribute pictographic shells. So the ultimate basically seems like a little bit of a... It's not a domain, because it doesn't say that it's a domain, but it sounds like it's something that lingers. Because it's saying, when pictographic shells are retrieved, you distribute them again. So it's like, and then you blast them again. So retrieving them is going to trigger everything that she has that comes from retrieving, and then she puts it back. It's going to trigger everything that triggers when she's distributing them. But it feels like it's something that happens over time and not in an instance. So it could be we could be missing a duration on this. When pictographic shells are retrieved from the target, but it doesn't say like during this turn, during 3 turns, during the duration of shell beacon debuff. It's probably going to be a debuff that lingers on the enemy. I would assume so, right? Otherwise, we are missing like text. We are missing text on this, because this one is not completely clear. So I wonder if shell beacon is going to be a force field. It's not going to be a domain. They would have said it, but maybe it's a force field and we don't know, or maybe it's just a debuff, or just we don't know how long it is, this debuff. But as long as the debuff is there, or maybe it works one time, like Melania, when you only have one enhanced kick after the ultimate. It could be one of those, like it stays there until you do it, and then when you hit the end, when you are retrieving, it's not going to do anything, but then when you retrieve, it's going to trigger and it's going to retrieve, distribute. It could be that. So yeah, this is the kit. After all, I feel like it's a very interesting kit. The only problem this character has is that it's coming right before 2.5, and we don't know who 2.5 is. It might be some insane character. It most likely going to be because of CNU Year and limited, true limited, so you know. But I really like this set, this kit. I feel like it could be really fun. Maybe she will rerun eventually, and you can, I mean, eventually everybody can pick it up from standard by losing 50-50. But you know, if there's not like, if they don't rerun this character, like if you're not having a rerun, there's no way for you to get it. I feel like they should start putting more character into the golden cassettes to make that a real thing. Like, okay, I'm not going to exchange my cassettes for pulls. I will rather, I'm going to save them so I can get a free character whenever the rotation is there. I feel like they're not going too hard on that rotation. We still have the same old ass characters Oh my god, Tooth Fairy from 1.2, and in CN we have like fucking 2.5 or like 9.0, and we're gonna get like Jessica in the cassette, so you know. It feels like they don't know if they want to go for that or not. Anyway, that said, let me know what you think about the kit. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Follow-up attack. You can play with with KAKANIA. You do HP stuff, which is really interesting, and this is actually never seen before. I would really love to have this, but unless I get in like 1-2 pulls, I can't afford it. So maybe eventually we'll get her, right? That said, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.